If he'd have followed the rules, they'd all still be alive right now.
Jim, why are you so eager to take any of this at face value, Jim?
There has got to be an explanation. And none of you fucking people seem to be looking for it.
What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another From Season 3 video. We are going to break down things that happened in this trailer, and I'm going to tell you exactly how Tabitha is going to get back to FromVille. Yes, you heard it from me. She will be back. But how she gets back, I'm going to tell you that exactly. And I promise you, when you're done with this video, you're going to have to agree with me that this is the way that it's going to play out. Can't see it going down any other way. If you can, hit that thumbs up button. 500 is the like goal. Let's try to get there to trigger the YouTube algorithm. Now let's get into it. Tabitha is taken to the bottle tree by Victor. Victor tells a story on how he found his mother dead outside the bottle tree, but we have no recollection what happened to Eloise. I believe that Eloise did get inside the tree, that Victor's mother sacrificed herself to put her daughter in that tree, and that's where we're going to find Eloise, outside where Tabitha is. But before that happens, we see Tabitha herself go inside the bottle tree. She makes her way over to the lighthouse. She walks up the stairs, and it's basically almost the same thing that she's seen inside of her vision. She gets to the top of the lighthouse, and as she's looking outside, she sees the boy in white. The boy in white says, "Sorry, but this is the only way," and then he pushes her out of the window. We next see Tabitha waking up inside of a hospital where she has no recollection where she is, and she looks out the window, and there we see that she has escaped FromVille. That's where we're at with Tabitha. Now let me explain to you what I think is going to happen. The trailer opens up on Tabitha, letting you know that this is one of the most important storylines that we have to deal with this season. Again, Tabitha is in the hospital.
Do you remember what you were doing out there?
One thing we can see right here is that Dr. Brody is questioning her. If we are going to believe that the photos of them being missing for all this time aren't just for propaganda to promote the show, that these are actually out in the real world, then Tabitha and her family have been missing a long time. And if you go missing, eventually the police are going to want to talk to you, especially if you show up after all this time by yourself and your 2 kids and husband are not with you. So Tabitha's going to have a problem on her hands. And if you're in a hospital and they ask you who you are and you say, "I don't know," they're not going to let you go, right? So basically, she has one chance. She's got to escape this hospital. And I think that's what she's going to do. She's going to have to break north at some point and get out of this hospital. We do see her in another scene, and that is when she's with some type of pastor and some type of priest. And it seems like she's confessing, like all this stuff has been overwhelming to her, and now she's confessing to this person of everything that she's been through, because it's just going to seem crazy if she just says it to somebody else. But she figures, maybe if I say it to this guy, you know, he can't judge me. He might have heard worse. So that's what I think. And she's rocking all the same clothes that she had when she went in the tree with Victor, which kind of puts an end almost to the dream theory for the fact that she got these clothes while she was in FromVille. But if she's on the real world outside, how is she still in these same exact clothes? We see her that she still has Victor's lunchbox also. So that may put an end to that dream thing. Maybe. Still can be possible. But let's continue. She's got the same exact gear on. At some point, she runs into this guy. Now, on my trailer breakdown, the first one I did for Season 3, I told you that this was Victor's father. I know a lot of people did a little pushback on it, saying it could be Eloise's husband. Fine. I'm telling you, it's Victor's father. So for the sake of this video, we're going to go with it being Victor's father. So she runs into Victor's father, and outside we see that there's a bottle tree out there. Now, when was this bottle tree put there? Eloise make her way home and put the bottle tree there, trying to help her mother get home? Or is this bottle tree something that they had while they were children? Again, if it was something that they had when they were children, that would then shift everything back to the dream theory that would be why this bottle tree is in FromVille, because this is something they had at their house, and this is what they used to play make-believe, maybe her and Victor, that, you go into the magic bottle tree and you transport different places. But that being said, at some point, he takes her to the basement. Now, we got to look at it like this. If there are people missing, and she's one of the people missing, right? And she's trying to say, hey, I know where your son is. Why is he going to believe her? It has to be because of this lunch pail, but he might have other questions like, how'd you get that? My son's been gone for over 50 years. And now you show up with his lunch pail? Who are you to show up with that lunch pail? This dude may call the cops on her. Maybe when she's in this basement looking at these pictures, that's when she gets arrested by the police. I mean, I could see it playing out that way. And when you look at these pictures, they are not the exact same drawings that Victor does. Someone else has painted these things. Maybe this is Eloise's style. We've only seen her with the crayon, but maybe she has upgraded her style, and that's what it is. But I haven't told you yet how she gets back to FromVille. I'm going to tell you right now. So I was on the stream last night with Julia, and she gave me 100% proof, in my opinion, that they are in Kingdom, Maine. She has been there herself, and that's when we see her looking out the window, and we're talking about Tabitha. That's where she has said that they are at, and I believe her from that. So that being said, we know that they're in Maine. That's where this is all taking place from, right? Now, I told you from the beginning, that if you're missing and you're wanted, they're going to question you, and eventually you're going to have to pay the piper. You're going to have to answer questions where your family is if you've been missing all this time and you show up without your husband and kids. Now, later on in this trailer, we do see an ambulance pull inside of FromVille. Now, this is not just a regular ambulance. There's something weird about this ambulance, right? And what could that be? It is that it has a police officer riding inside of the ambulance. We see her get out with the gun. We could also see the other person from the ambulance dead laying in the street. Why would there be a police officer inside of an ambulance? Only time you do that is if you're transporting some type of criminal, someone who needs to be questioned. And who has I told you needed to be questioned? Well, that is Tabitha. So what I think happens is she gets bagged up, Tabitha. They throw her in the ambulance, and she's probably trying to convince this cop, I'm not crazy, this really happened, all this stuff happens, and I'm telling you what's going to happen. That ambulance driver is going to be driving, and he's going to come right across to the tree. And he's going to see the tree in the road, and Tabitha's going to be like, no, no, no. They're going to make that turn, and poop, there they all are, back in FromVille. That's how Tabitha is getting back. She's in that ambulance. And if you're about to ask, how do I know where that ambulance is from? You can look, it says Knox County. Knox County is in Maine. So that just about wraps that up. But you tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you believe Tabitha is inside this ambulance? Is this the way she's going to make her way back to through that? Again, we know how people get in there. They always get in there while driving in the car. That's when they get abducted. And she's not going to be driving a car on her own, but she is going to be in this ambulance. And that's how they're going to abduct her ass and bring her back. Again, let me know in the comment section. And I will tell you that I'm doing a huge stream with a bunch of YouTubers tonight at 8 o'clock. Tune in to Teflon TV if you want to know more details. I have the link up in the description. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.
Okay. All right. Well, see, that's the difference between you and me.
I don't do impossible.
Right. I don't just sit around accepting the world as it is. Someone is doing this, and I'm not gonna rest until I figure out how.